everyone, welcome back to another vinyl video. Today I'm going to talk about some hip hop and go through a couple of the records I have and then talk a little bit about the Beastie Boys stuff I have because I do try and collect them. My collection is small, but it is growing. I'm going to start off with a new record. This album came out in 2014. It is Sylvan Esso. I wouldn't consider them hip hop. I would say they're more electronic, maybe some funk to them. Really cool melodies, really cool stylized vocals. The lead singer's name is Amelia. It's actually a two-piece from North Carolina. Nick is the producer and then she sings. So that's what the album looks like. It's just black with the gold. Their biggest songs are Coffee, Hey Mommy, and HSKT. But the whole record's a great summer grooves record. It's just on 180 gram black vinyl. So I will link some videos below. They do some really good stuff a cappella as well. She's an incredible singer, which I think kind of elevates the electronic part of the music because I'm not a really big fan of electronic music in general. I come from like a time when electronic music was like house and very like song and lyrical driven, like Armin van Helden and Fatboy Slim and things like that that you could actually sing along to. People like Mayoko. So this is something that is more my style. And Hey Mommy is a great song. It's about being catcalled, and like if you're a girl and you've ever had to walk around a city by yourself, you know exactly what that feels like. It is not fun. So okay, going on to the hip hop stuff. I have a full-length record here of Poison by Devoe. Of course, these guys were a New Edition, and then when the band broke up, they did their own dealio here. I love the cover. I think their outfits are awesome. The big song from this is the album track, Poison. And then, of course, Do Me is the other single. Really good as well. And they're just classic hip-hop tracks. Early 90s stuff. The next full-length hip-hop record I have is Dr. Dre, 2001, The Chronic. I love this record so much. Dr. Dre, what can I say? I'm a huge fan. I love NWA. I love all the stuff he did with Eminem, of course, even though, I mean, some of it's a little bit offensive, especially towards women, but the beats you cannot deny. You cannot deny the production value that Dre has. So the big tracks from this are Next Episode, Forgot About Dre, and Still DRE. I'm not someone who's really into listening to like full albums like this. There's so many interludes and like things like that that I really just don't have time for. But I'm more of like a singles person, so I don't own a lot of hip-hop records for that reason. But this record is just so classic that I had to have it. And then the labels there are little pot leaves, which is very fitting. This is the European edition, so it has this like, you know, computer background, very like millennium background. And that is remastered for the Back to Black label. The next hip-hop record that I wanted to mention before I get into the Beastie Boys stuff is one of the few singles I have, which is Notorious B.I.G. Juicy, of course Biggie Smalls. This is a 1994 release, so that's it there. The thing with a lot of like hip-hop singles is they come in like DJ sort of packaging, and I like having like the full picture kind of vibe, so that's another reason why I don't pick up a lot of hip-hop stuff. But this one had the nice picture sleeve there with Biggie on it. The album is on, of course, Bad Boy. And it has Juicy and the song Unbelievable, and then a remix of Juicy on side A, and then it has instrumentals of all those songs on side B. And Juicy, of course, a hip-hop, like, legendary song. And, I mean, Biggie has a lot of amazing songs, but this is definitely his probably most known. I really got into him with the Life After Death record, but yeah, I had to pick up this one when I found it. That takes me on to the Beasties. So the Beastie Boys were my favorite band for quite a few years, probably starting in 1998 after Hello Nasty came out. One of those bands that like I've always known about, but I never really like paid attention to seriously. I've always known like Fight for Your Right and So What You Want and those kinds of songs, but yeah, once I found Hello Nasty, I could not get enough. And I was so freaking obsessed with Adam Horowitz. Like, I wanted to marry him. So this is the first Beastie Boys record I picked up. It is the Solid Gold Hits, Greatest Hits record. This came out in 2005 on Capitol Records. It has the sort of 80s hip-hop photo shoot front cover. It has the Beastie Boys graffiti wall that used to be in New York that they made for the kind of debut of the Beastie Boys, and then it has this awesome like Fight for Your Right era party photo of them on the inside. And yeah, there's Adam and Mike and Adam. And it was just Adam's, the anniversary of his passing. Died 3 years ago of cancer, so really sad. Probably the most like impactful musician to die for me. I was such a huge fan, and it was someone that, like, unlike, you know, Kurt or Shannon Hoon, who I adore, they kind of died before I really got into them. Adam was someone that I loved so much for so long. But onto the record. The label just looks like so, Beastie Boys, and it is on 180 gram black vinyl. A variety of their singles from all of their albums, and it is a double record. The next full-length Beastie Boys record, and the last one in my collection so far, I do need to get a couple more. This is an original of Ill Communication. So I got it at Sonic Boom. You can see the $25 price tag there. And this came out in 1994 on Capitol Grand Royale. So it was a combo release with their record label, and it has the Grand Royale labels there. Double record. Back has lots of studio shots of them, and then of course there's Adam on the front. The middle is this like tree thing. This album has my favorite Beastie Boys song on it, or it's tied. I have two favorites, but Sabotage is my rockier favorite of the Beastie stuff, because, you know, they have their hip hop, more rap side, and then they have their rock side. And Sabotage, I mean, it's amazing. It's an amazing song. Great video as well. So yeah, that's on this, as well as Sure Shot and Root Down. Speaking of favorite songs, this is my other favorite song from the Beasties. This is an original single from Def Jam, and it's The New Style, which is my very favorite like rap song of theirs. This is a promo only copy. It does have the misprint, so it has New Style with the rap lyrics, and then it has New Style instrumental, but it's labeled Paul Revere, and then Paul Revere is on the B-side. I'll link below a little film, I think that Rolling Stone did, where Rick Rubin, who produced a lot of the Beastie Boys stuff and of course was one of the big people at Def Jam, talks about his days at NYU and how they kind of started Def Jam out of the university, and it's a really cool history lesson on the creation of that, and also how him and Adam worked together, Adam Horowitz, and even discovered like LL Cool J together. And yeah, really great interview with Rick Rubin, and he goes back to the dorms and he like goes back to his room and talks about it. It's really cool. And then I'm also going to link below a book review that I did probably a couple years ago now, on this book called Labyrinth, which is an amazing book about the LAPD and their involvements, or alleged involvements, with the deaths of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls, and all like kind of the myth around those two murders, and some theories that the author has on it, which you'll see, due to a lot of corruption in the LAPD, reasons why those murders have never gotten solved. Really interesting book. I highly recommend it. Sorry, back to the Beastie Boys. I have the 12-inch of She's On It. This is the soundtrack from the video. You can tell it's very 80s because they're really pushing that MTV. This has She's On It and Slow and Low, another awesome, awesome song. All the little goofy photos of the boys, produced by Rick Rubin, Def Jam, and it's on the Columbia label there. And then my last single that I'm going to show you today, I do have one more like 45, but I've already shown it in a video, so I'm not going to bring that out today. This is a 10-inch promo single on Grand Royale, and it is Body Movin' from Hello Nasty. The B-side is Peanut Butter and Jelly, and it is on clear vinyl. It's really cool. Obviously, the European releases get all the cool shit, you know. So yeah, I'm just going to mention a few of the hip-hop tracks that I've been loving on MP3. So the first song is called Bed Piece. It's more of an R&B track. It's by Jhené Aiko. This is not a new song. It came out in 2013. It's a track that she does with Childish Gambino, and it's the video I'll link below is like a take on the John Lennon Yoko Ono bed-in that they did in Montreal. It's just an amazing song. I love it, and I listen to it like 100 million times a day. Next is Kendrick Lamar. His new record in general is amazing, but King Kunta is just, I mean, it's a banger. It's an amazing track. I'm gonna mention the Drake mixtape because I'm from Toronto, you know. I run in the 6th of my woes, so I gotta rep Drake a little bit, even though he's not my favorite. I do love Legend, Jungle, and Energy, and Know Yourself. Those 4 are my favorites from the record. And then one of my all-time favorite rappers, he's from Baton Rouge. He's very special to me, and that is Kevin Gates. He hasn't had a major label release yet, but he has a couple mixtapes out, and he has a song called I Don't Get Tired, IDGT. So good. Like, so good. Of course, Satellites is one of my all-time favorite hip-hop songs, which is from an earlier mixtape of his, and he has another song called Mud. I will link the videos below. He's just like, it's just the dirtiest beats. Like, I just love it, and I love Kevin Gates. Like, him and me, we're like this. I think that might be it. Let me see. Oh, last one, Action Bronson. Is a song on his new record, Mr. Wonderful, which is his first like major label record, called Baby Blue. It is with Chance the Rapper, who I love. I love the Acid Rain mixtape. That song is so good. Again, I'll link it below. If you guys have a favorite hip-hop album or record in your collection, please leave it below. I would love to hear about it. And I'll be back soon with a recent finds video. Yeah, bye!